In an age where college funding is limited, education resources are questionable, and arts programs are being cut, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA, has stepped up to the plate.
Inspired by CAAPA as a part of its commitment in supporting classical music education and performance artists throughout the United States and abroad, we offer the Masterclass series. CAAPA marries serious music students with acclaimed music masters of color, targeting historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, high school performing arts schools, and music conservatories, including schools like Howard University, Livingstone College, Morgan State University, Detroit School for the Arts, Morehouse College, Texas Southern University, Spelman College, University of Kentucky, and Winston-Salem State University.
The Masterclass series helps students build self-confidence, strengthen performances, hone their skills, tighten presentations, improve stage presence, work on technique, and vocal recommendations.
While emphasis is placed on classical music students to participate in the Masterclass series, audiences and faculty members are also encouraged to attend the free to the public sessions, an exciting and fresh way to help CAAPA bring color to the classics.
The Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, funded by the National Endowment for the Arts, in partnership with Fisk University, presents the Masterclass series, the premier Black classical music Masterclass series. Recognized worldwide as one of today's most exciting vocal stars, Denyce Graves continues to gather popular and critical acclaim in performances on 4 continents. She has become particularly well known to operatic audiences for her portrayals of the title roles in Carmen and Samson et Dalila, bringing her to the Metropolitan Opera, Vienna Stadt Opera, Royal Opera, Covent Garden, San Francisco Opera, Opera Nationale de Paris, and Lyric Opera of Chicago, just to name a few. Ms. Graves' highlighted performances include Mariah in Gershwin's Porgy and Bess, Nico Muñiz's opera Marnie, both at the Metropolitan Opera, the world premiere of Champion as Imelda at the Opera Theater of St. Louis, Salome as Herodios at Palm Beach Opera, and the Mikado as Katisha with the Lyric Opera of Kansas City. Ms. Graves also makes numerous concert and recital performances. Ms. Graves is a native of Washington, D.C., where she attended the Duke Ellington School for the Performing Arts. She continued her education at Oberlin College Conservatory of Music and the New England Conservatory. She is the recipient of many awards, including the Eleanor Stever Music Award in the Opera Columbus Vocal Competition, a Jacobson Study Grant from the Richard Tucker Music Foundation, and the Marian Anderson Award presented to her by Miss Anderson. In addition, she has received honorary doctorates from Oberlin College, the College of St. Mary, Centre College, and the New England Conservatory. Ms. Graves' dedication to the singers of the next generation continues to be an important part of her career, as she is part of the voice faculty of the Peabody Conservatory of Music in Baltimore. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome Ms. Denyce Graves. Before we meet the music master, I'd just like to say hello to everyone and welcome to the next installment of CAAPA's virtual masterclass series. My name is Angela Renee Simpson, and I'm your host and program director of the series. I would like to thank Fisk University and the music department for agreeing to partner with us today in bringing color to the classics. To the Fisk music students who are observing via Zoom, we will have a short question and answer session after Ms. Graves finishes working with Ms. Rainbow. Please feel free to use the chat button for any questions you may have. And those who are watching on Facebook Live, please post your questions in the comments. Now, without further ado, I bring to you our music master, mezzo-soprano, Ms. Denyce Graves, followed by Fisk University senior coloratura soprano, Ms. Anastasia Rainbow. Ms. Graves.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Simpson. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, this is wonderful. I'm just thrilled to be here. Thank you, CAAPA, for extending the invitation. Thank you, Fisk University. I'm delighted to be part of your Masterclass series. Thank you, Gwendolyn Brown, to Terry Allen, Angela Simpson, and all the people who had a hand in my invitation and being here today. Thank you very much. So I feel like my heart is going to explode with the first singer that's up. I have known, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
I have known her mother. Her mother and I were students together at Oberlin College Conservatory. And I didn't have a look until early this morning, and because Rainbow is an unusual last name. And I said, oh my goodness, don't tell me that this is Alexis's daughter. It is. Her mother and I were students together at Oberlin College. We shared some beautiful, beautiful memories. I remember when she was born along with her sister Ari, and I cannot believe that she is following in the footsteps of her mother and is going to embark on this path of becoming an opera singer and another great singer. So it's a thrill and a delight for me to be able to hear her and to work with her.
Hello, Miss Graves.
Oh, I can't believe I'm seeing you, sweet baby girl. Oh my goodness.
Yes, this is wonderful. This is wonderful.
That's serendipity. It's a beautiful moment. I am delighted, and it feels like I said my heart is going to explode. I just can't even believe this moment is happening. I'm just so excited.
Wow. Yes, I am too. Well, hello, my name is Anastasia Rainbow. Today I will be singing the Rache from Die Zauberflotte by Mozart.
Yay, yay. Well done, Anastasia. Thank you so much. And you know, you've grown. I heard you some years ago. I think you sang Pamina when you were in my home some years ago. So you've gone on from her to the mom, right? That's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, but you have shown tremendous growth. I remember we had just a tiny short session. You were generous enough to sing for me in this very room, actually. And that was after we had eaten and you hadn't warmed up or anything, but I just remember commenting on your bravery and how amazing I thought it was that we could sit down and have something to eat and then you can just get up and pop out, you know, ach, ich fühl's, which is what I think you're saying. Lovely job.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, this is really something. This is really something for me. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous moment. And you've got your mother's voice. You've got the top, just like your mom. You've got your high coloratura, just like your mother. Unbelievable. But with a lot more body in the sound. A lot more richness and body in the sound. I loved your enthusiasm. We're going to keep all of that. I love the dramatic flair. We're going to keep all of that because that we need. And we're going to need to pull that into your delivery, you know, from here on out. So we're going to keep all these wonderful things. The very, very top is so pristine and so clean and crystal. That is exactly what we expect to hear from someone singing this aria. That's wonderful. Loved all of that. Okay, so I'm going to read some of my comments here. Okay, just one physical thing, well, a few physical things, and I'm sure you're aware of this, and I'm sure your teacher has already said this to you, and that is to watch your arms, to watch the wings, you know? I used to do something like that, and I always had a professor say to me, Denyce, put your arm down. You know, whenever I'd sing, I'd lift up my arm like that and say, put your arm down, put your arm down. And of course, that wasn't the way I was aware that it was happening too. So what I want to say to you is that if you are aware of that, if you are aware that your arms want to help you sing, allow them. Allow them to. Don't feel imprisoned. I'm not going to tell you to stop. I'm going to tell you to go with it. If you can feel that your elbows and your arm wants to come to the party too, allow them. Just take it even further. If you feel that gesture rising up in you, if you're aware of that, if you feel that happening, allow it to be fully expressive and use it because there's some reason that that's happening in your body, right? There's a reason that it's happening and it wants to help you sing. So allow it to be a part of your delivery, right? But the first thing is to be aware of it. All right. The other thing I want to say is watch, baby girl, watch that you don't allow your body to slump over or to slouch or the shoulders to curl. Don't break the body. You're the queen. You're absolutely the reine de la nuit, right? The queen of the night, right? Yeah. So you have to be very much that. It's going to help your singing too when you keep your body in full alignment. So I understand that that's happening because you're excited and because you're into this. And all of that's good. We want to keep all of that. But just see if you feel that happening, just pretend that there's an imaginary string from the top of your head that's being hooked to the ceiling. And allow your body to express itself as it wants to. Am I speaking too quickly? Is there a delay at all?
There is somewhat a delay, but I can still identify.
Okay, so I'll speak slower because I want you to hear what it is that I'm saying. So I'm just saying two things about the arms and the elbows. Allow that more because it's very present in your singing. So it wants to be there. So free your body and give permission to your elbows and your arms and all of that to help you express and tell the story. Allow it to happen because it's organically wanting to happen anyway.
Right.
Okay, so just allow it, allow it. Watch also that the shoulders don't want to curl over, and that we don't want to break the body. We don't want to cut the body in half. That's important that you stay in alignment because that is going to help the singing. As I said, I love the very, very, very top of the voice. It is crystal like a bell and exactly right. And it sounds easy.
Yes.
And for that, I hate you, okay? But, right? Another thing for you and your musical partner is that sometimes the tempo felt rushed and was a bit uneven. I think that there were times that you both got excited when it was coming to sort of the money notes. And I felt like we lost a little bit of the evenness in the tempo. So just see if you can be aware of that, okay? Now, some technical things. Again, I love, love, love your involvement. That is what we need because, you know, as you know, and I'm sure your professors have already said to you, having the voice is where we're all starting. Yes. Having the voice is just a piece of this. It's a prerequisite. It's something that we've got to have, but it's not the entire picture. Yes. It's part of what is needed. It's where it's ground zero, right? The foundation. So that you have the voice, check, we can check that box. But that you also have the ability to be able to tell a story and to surrender yourself to the character is another box that we're going to check. All of that is in the plus column. That's awesome. Now, make sure, darling girl, that you do not approach the note from underneath. It's happening quite a lot. When you have to go on the very top, it's always so interesting because, you know, your voice, you know, when you have to go to the very, very top, you know, you can't monkey around. Right. This is the Reine de la Nuit, and everybody's waiting for those Fs. You know, people come to the opera to hear this aria. Yeah. It's sort of the jewel. I mean, you know, there's Tamina, all those, it's filled with beautiful, beautiful melodies, but a lot of people come to hear the Queen. And those are the payoff notes. So you know that when you're singing that, that's got to be spot on. And it was. Right. But what I would say is give love to all of the other notes too. And give your technique to all of the other notes as well. Many of the notes that you sang, darling, were being approached from underneath the note. In other words, sometimes you were scooping. Okay. So if we're scooping, make sure that your support is in place as you begin singing. That whatever it is that you discussed with your voice builder, whether you feel that expansion in your rib cage, whether you feel that in your upper back, whether you feel that in your lower back, whether you feel the dissension of your diaphragm and you feel a low intercostal opening, However it is that you connect to your support, make certain that that is in place before you start phonating. Otherwise it's like if you blow up a balloon, right? You blow up the balloon, you know you've got to pinch the end of the balloon, otherwise all of the air will come out and the balloon will fly all over the place. So the part that you hold on to, you pinch, is going to be the support, right? So that's important to have that in place so that you feel, Anastasia, that buoyancy and that, yes, that support underneath you so that you don't approach the note from underneath. If anything, you want to feel like you come above or straight on for that note, for all of those notes. So that was something that was super, super important because I know it's a habit because it happened many times. So watch that. Yes, make sure that the support is underneath you. I said watch the arms and watch the scooping. The top is pristine. Watch the tempo, support, and that's right underneath as you begin. Okay, sometimes with this format, there can be some distortion, as you know. So I don't hear everything as I would were I there, you know, in person. But I can hear, you know, a good enough. Okay, so that's the dog, and she's not gonna stop barking until I open the door. So excuse me, I'm gonna let the dog out, and then I'm coming right back to you. Okay, I'm here, I'm back. So can we try it again? Can we try it again? And I want you to be aware of a couple of things. Be aware, first of all, of your posture.
Yes.
That you keep yourself, you're going to pretend that you have an imaginary string that's hooked to the top of the ceiling that keeps you tall and beautiful and long.
Right.
Okay. Then we're going to allow your arms, if they want to start singing too, we're going to allow them. So let them fully participate. Okay? And then we're going to, from the technical standpoint, we're going to make sure that your support, that your body is open. When you begin your phrasing, that your body's open. Do you understand what I mean when I say that your body's open?
So like my breast support and my rib cage.
Absolutely. If that is what you discuss with your teacher, and if that is what makes sense to your body, absolutely. That body, that you feel your expansion when you take your breath, whether it's through the nose, whether it's through the mouth, whether it's through both, that you feel your body open up. Everything opens, the rib, the upper back, the lower back, the belly pooches out, everything opens up.
Okay, yeah.
And then you try to keep that expansion. That's the trick, is that you try to keep your body open, but that you know you're going to approach those notes, just like the target sign, it's going to go right in the center. Nothing's going to be scooped up. You're going to go directly into the core of your sound, into the core of the note.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, my darling girl, let's try again. I want you to watch your posture. You started out, and the first thing that happened was this. So just encourage your shoulders back.
Okay.
I know it's because you're into it, and I love that about you. That's very awesome. But see if we can teach the body, because every time you sing, you teach yourself to sing. And every time you sing, you show the muscles what to do. So it's not just that practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice, right? That makes perfect. It's conscious practice.
Right.
That makes perfect. Conscious practice. So because if you do this every time, your body and the muscles, that's going to be the default, right? That's where it's going to want to go every single time.
Yes.
So you're going to have to tell your body right away that you're going to stay nice and tall, and you don't need your shoulders to round and to help you. You don't. You need the body to be nice and tall and be the queen that you are. Okay. Better. Can I just say one thing? Right on the center.
Yes.
Do you hear that nuance?
Yes, I do.
And you know what, Anastasia, here's the thing.
Yes.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
So the problem with the beautiful voice is that it always sounds beautiful. That's problematic.
Yeah.
Right? You see where the problem is with that, because we can hear you sing all day long.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean that it's correct.
No.
That's the issue. Doesn't mean that the technique is correct.
Right.
So, no, that's learned in. Straight on, right in the center. Be as clean and pristine with that as your precision is when you go to those high Fs.
Okay.
Insist on it.
Yes. Okay.
Very good on the shoulders though. Molto brava on that. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, some gorgeous stuff is going on here. Some beautiful things are happening. I love it. And I love how quickly you were able to take the instruction and integrate it. Again, molto brava on that. Very, very good. Watch some of your vowels. Some of the vowels are too open and too far back. Schmelzen. You may want to, so make sure that when you, make sure, Anastasia, when you do the IPA, that you are clear on which vowels are open and which vowels are closed.
Yes.
Because some of the language is being sung with American vowel sounds. And the danger with that, is it's going to take the sound too far back. Because as Americans, we speak really, most of us speak far back. And particularly African Americans, I find. So now, you might be, can you just say it? Can you just say the words?
Okay.
Can you just speak them?
De Herde Rach in Kocht in meinem Herzen.
Herzen. The Herz is, it is an open E. Herzen. It isn't, yeah, Herzen. And what I would encourage you to do is to try to keep the vowels as close together as you can. In other words, Herzen, try not, I exaggerate it, Herzen, Herzen. See if you can try and work on equalization of keeping the same, it's not going to be exactly the same vowel shape. The embouchure will not remain the same, but see if you can keep the vowel sounds closer together. You understand that?
Okay.
So that in the mouth, the position isn't doing a whole lot of jumping around and changing. See if you can keep the vowel sounds closer together.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. And also, make sure, Anastasia, that you keep that nice and tall and lean, and that there is some space above the tone. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Keep it nice and tall and lean, and that there's space above the tone. So in other words, pretend that the notes that you're singing are higher than they are. Pretend that they're higher.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So are we singing again?
We are so singing again.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's a heck of a lot. God bless you. First of all, honey, that's fine. This is good. This is what you're here doing. You're dedicating this time in your life for your study of your gorgeous instrument. And that's a hell of a sing. It is a hell of a sing. That's not, I mean, I don't know how many people can keep doing that over and over and over again. That's a good old sing. Watch this, Anastasia. Watch Herzen. They're too far apart. And watch Schmerzen. The vowels are too far. What it's going to do is make the aria more labored. Because sometimes what's happening is that you drop your support. It's like after you sing a high note and then you sing a low note, it's like, woo, thank you, Jesus, But in other words, you've got to keep your support engaged and don't let it, after you sing a top note, let everything fall on the low note. And that's what's happening a little bit. And when that happens, it's going to make the singing of it too labored, because it's going to feel like you're always climbing. Because if you go to the top and drop down and go to the top and drop down, when you're down, it makes getting up that much more difficult. So in other words, you're not going to go to the top and drop down. You're going to go to the top and you're going to feel like you stay at the top.
Okay.
Even though the note changes, your support does not change.
Right.
The note may change. You may be singing a higher note and then a lower note, but the support stays engaged just like if it were a high note. You can't just let it sort of all just, come on the end and drop on the bottom. So watch, Herzen and Schmerz, because I'm hearing Schmerz, then you're dropping too far. You lose your placement. I don't know if your teacher talks about placement, but the wonderful space that you know you have to get when you go to the top, whether you talk about a yawn space or yawn smile space, that wonderful, beautiful lift that you get, keep that lift in place all the time.
Ms. Graves, you have 2 minutes.
No, all right. Keep the lift in place, okay? All right. Do you need a drink of water?
Yes, yes.
Let's get some water.
Okay. Okay. Okay, hello.
All right, very good. I may stop you because I want, Anastasia, I want you to be aware of the schmelzen and herzen, that we don't let that drop and we don't let that sound go far back.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You're doing great. Better? Much better. Much better. I'm sorry, much better. Let's keep going, much better. Wait. One thing. Zarastro. Make sure you get enough space.
Okay.
Zarastro. So make sure you've got your nice lift. Zarastro. It needs more room.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. That was really good. I noticed a great improvement. The second one in particular, you had a beautiful, beautiful lift there. I will encourage you to keep the space that you have for the second zarastro on the first one.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yes.
You got beautiful lift in space. That second one, the second zarastro, was gorgeous.
Ms. Graves, that's time.
Beautiful space.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you keep that. Here's what I want to say. I know we're at time. Here's what I want to say. Even though your voice is naturally high, it's naturally high, you still need to create lift and space.
Yeah.
You still, and perhaps for you, Anastasia, even more so, because sometimes when the notes are not at the end of our range, we don't really always give it the same kind of attention that we would when you're going for a really high note.
Right.
So I would ask you for every note, pretend that it's really high.
Okay.
And give it that space and lift.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make singing the aria even easier.
Right.
It will make it easier.
Yes.
And so that's really, really important. You have done great work. I don't know when it was that I heard you. Some years ago.
Yeah, like a couple, 2-3 years ago, I think.
2-3 years ago, your voice has grown tremendously. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of the work you're doing. It is evident. You are on the right path. Continue your study with your teacher. Yes. Continue your coachings. Yes. Continue to be curious about your instrument.
Okay, yes.
Be curious about your voice and what it can do. When you make your Metropolitan Opera debut, I want tickets.
Oh, of course.
All I'm saying.
Everyone's Thank you so much, Ms.
You look beautiful. I love you. Kiss your wonderful mother from me when you see her.
I will.
And I'm just so proud of you. Very congratulations also to your pianist.
Yes, thank you, Horatio. Thank you.
Well done indeed. Very good work.
And thank you, Ms. Rainbow. Since we do not have any questions posted as of yet, we'll move on to Fisk University senior lyric soprano, Ms. Cortney Towns.
What are you singing, Ms. Towns?
Hi, I will be singing Quando from La Boheme by Puccini.
Yay! Yay for you, Miss Cortney. Yay for you. Well, I have to tell you, My favorite part besides the instrument itself was your coquettishness. That is wonderful. You understand what's happening here, right?
Yes.
You understand what's going on in this scene. That's right. And she is laying it on. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that, where you have to try to no? No, nothing like that. All right. Well, I would say that you can afford to go further. It's there. I see you. I see the characterization. It's there. I would say you can afford to let yourself go further because Musetta is not subtle. She isn't subtle. I think maybe Cortney is, but Musetta isn't. She lays it on thick. And why do you think, Cortney, what do you want to do in the telling of this aria? What is your objective?
My objective is to win the attention of my current boyfriend, Marcello. So I'm doing all I can to win him back, I guess you could say, and win him over.
That's important. And I think you have to really make him jealous. So, you know, when she says, so what I feel about your singing, Cortney, is that you can enjoy it way more. You have to enjoy this moment so much. She loves it. She loves it. Being able to make him uneasy, to make him nervous, to get the attention of everybody in Café Montmuse, to really make a spectacle out of this moment so that he will never forget this, right? Okay, so the first thing I would say is that I see you being coquettish. I love it. It's great. You need to go further. You need to go way further, okay? Desio. Don't rush the phrases. Enjoy the phrases just as you enjoy the moment. You are loving this moment of making him squirm. So as you make him squirm, enjoy singing the phrases too. Get the most that you can get out of those phrases. Now, the second Felice mi fa was great. Felice mi fa, felice. That was terrific. Beautiful color change, beautiful texture in the sound. However, make sure that you keep the breath spinning. Does it make sense? To keep the breath spinning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. And you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I know you're being very correct with me. You said to me, yes, ma'am. And I try to get my kids to say that too, my own kids. And I appreciate it. because I know that you were raised right. But I want you to lose it right now. I need you, Cortney, to be looser. You gotta have more fun. So I don't want you to be aware of me, and I don't want you to be aware of yourself. I want you to just give yourself to the character. Just give yourself to the character. So I'm gonna ask you to do it again and just over-exaggerate what you're saying and what you're doing. So when I walk down the street and people look at me, I love it. I just love it. Now, why? You have to be, as a character, in stark contrast to Mimi, who's sort of playing demure, sweet, shy. You have to be the opposite of that in this moment. Later on in Act 4, she shows a tremendous amount of heart and compassion. But right now, it's war. All right. Hit me. Make sure you allow your voice to really bloom in that moment. You have to be a little bit more of a diva, Miss Cortney. These are the moments that make opera great. This is what, so enjoy your voice. Enjoy the moment in which you're so when you get to those top notes, really relish in that. Don't be in a hurry to get out of there.
Okay.
Enjoy it more. Now, I want to ask you this. Where's Marcello?
I'm sorry?
Where is your lover?
He is in the room, but on the opposite side. I'm more so far away from him with my current patron, you know, the gentleman that I brought in with me to make Marcello jealous. So I'm kind of far off from Marcello, but easing my way to him and around him towards the end of the piece.
Okay, so I appreciate that. I need you, when you sing this aria, we need to see Marcello. We need to see your target. Where is that man? Target him and put your focus on him. Establish his presence when you sing this aria, so that it's clear for the audience. Where is he? There he is. He's right there. I'm coming after you, baby. I am coming after you. Establish your contact with him and nail him. You don't have to stay on him the whole time unless you want to. But what we do need to see in this aria, we need to see where he is.
Okay.
Through your eyes. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good, Constance. Very good. Very good. Very good. Enjoy this. Very, very, very good work. Very good work. One thing, darling girl, the rhythm isn't exactly right. You're rushing through desio. Can we take that phrase? So in other words, don't rush through that. What do you say? What are you saying?
So does the flow desire completely surrounds me and it makes me happy. So the attention that people are giving me around throughout the cafe, I'm enjoying that. And just getting everybody's attention, eyes on me is enjoyable for me.
That's wonderful. Courtney, it is important that you understand and that you know and are memorized word for word what you say. Because if you have a general idea, then your audience will have a general idea. What we're talking about, and I know that Fisk University is a school for excellence. What we're talking about is the difference between a singer and an artist. Now, you've got a fabulous instrument. And you heard, as we spoke with Anastasia, having the voice is where we're all starting, okay? The difference, the thing that sets you apart from any other soprano singing Quando men vo is what you do with it. The voice, yes, but what you do with it, how you make that aria yours, so that I say, you know what, for me, it's great, but I can't hear anybody else sing that except Cortney Towns. She's the only person I can hear sing it. It's gonna have to do with your relationship with the words. And it can't, you have to you know, you have to make this make sense for you. It's more than understanding the translation. It's beyond knowing what the words mean. It's beyond that. You've got to have a subtext, or you have to have your own translation of what it means to you. Like, would you say that with Cortney? Would you say it like that? How would you say that in English?
I would say I enjoy, as I'm singing this piece, I am admiring, or as I'm, you know, waltzing around the room, I am enjoying everyone's eyes on me and all the attention is towards me. I'm enjoying that moment because that is my moment to shine.
Okay, now I love what you said at the end. You said, this is my moment to shine. I loved that because to me, although I don't know you, that sounded more honest. In other words, you're telling me what the translation is, and that is important, but I need to know what it means to Cortney. Like what I would say is, honey, when I'm walking down the street and everybody's looking at me, I love that. I can't get enough of it. When I was a little girl, there was a woman in the next apartment building, and she was very, very pretty, and I liked her. And she got married like months ago. But one day, she decided to put on her wedding dress and just walk up and down the street. She did that because of the attention that she would get. And she loved it. I'm just remembering that just now. I've forgotten her name, but she put on this wedding dress when I was a little girl, and I just remember thinking, wow. She walked up and down the street so that everybody could say, oh my God, look at you. Don't you look fabulous? She knew she looked fabulous, and that's why she did it, right? So what I'm saying is you have to make this piece intensely personal. You have to sincerely love it. So you have to let Cortney go. You have to let her go. And you have to let Musetta in. And Musetta, I don't think says yes ma'am to me. She just doesn't. Maybe she does, not in Act 2. She might in Act 4. But not in this moment. In this moment, you gotta just feel like you are the hottest chick in town, right? So just allow yourself to go there. Find your own meaning apart from the translations. Find what it means to you. Because I know some days it's like when you walk out the door, it's like, yeah, baby, I got it. It is happening today. Today, I have got it going on. It's got to be like that. It's got to be personal. Then when it's personal, we get it. And it's not you trying to become someone. You are that person. And that's the nuance. Pick it from wherever you want to. Watch that, Dizzy. I think your note value is longer. And it's important.
Okay.
What does that word mean?
Desire.
That is a killer word. Dizzy. Give yourself to that more. You can't cheat. Don't cheat that. Can we take it from there? Wait a minute. Wait, can we look at that? Dizzy. Isn't it longer?
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
So you got to sing the note a little bit longer, baby girl. Much better, Courtney. Much better. Much better. Yeah. I think you got there. I feel like you really loosened up and started enjoying it more. And you know, these songs that we're singing, this piece will be in your repertoire for the whole of your career. And the more that you sing it, the more comfortable you will be at portraying it. Because there's much more bang that you can get out of this aria with that voice. With that voice that you have, you can get much more of a punch out of this. And there's lots of wonderful portamenti that you can take advantage of. Felice, felice. You can caress the notes more. And that's gonna come. It's going to come the more you sing the aria and the more you surrender to the aria. You've got a lot going on. You've got a lot on the ball. I'm going to encourage you to just keep going. Keep doing your study. Where are you now in your studies?
I am a senior here at Fisk University, and I basically really sure what you mean. Are you talking for different artists that I sing?
Yes, I just meant where are you in your study? So you're an undergrad, you're a senior.
Undergrad, senior, yes.
Right. And are you interested in going to grad school at all?
Yes. Yes.
Are you going to continue singing?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
2 minutes,
Yes,
Ms.
I plan
Graves,
to,
2 minutes.
Where are you planning for what schools are you looking at?
I'm looking in any schools in Michigan, University of Cincinnati.
Oh.
Basically, those are my top ones. I really want to try to go from Michigan.
Yes. Well, they have a very good school. They have a good music department. Which Michigan? Michigan State or University of Michigan?
University of Michigan.
And they have a very strong also musical theater program too. But they have some wonderful teachers there. And they're gonna love your voice. They're gonna love your voice. But just continue the work that you're doing, Cortney. You've got a lot of fantastic material. A lot of fantastic material. And you can have more fun.
Okay.
You need to have more fun and enjoy your voice more, you know. Okay. That's important. That's important. It's not, it's not like you're, being a diva or something like that. It's an appreciation. It's an appreciation for the gift that you have. It's in celebration for the gift that you have. That's how you honor your gift. By enjoying it, by loving it, and then when you enjoy it and you love it, you give the audience permission to love it and to enjoy it. That's very important. Good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Towns. Ms. Graves, we do have a couple of Facebook questions here to ask. Dominique Butcher asks, do you believe that the singer should do more research on their aria?
Absolutely. 100%. The more backstory, the more information that you have, the richer your interpretation is going to be. And while the audience may not be able to, decipher word for word what you're saying, that broad frame of reference that you have is going to make your performance and your delivery and your telling of that story even more richer, and it's going to give it depth. You can tell when somebody knows what they're singing about.
Right, absolutely.
Not just us performers, but the audience can tell too.
Right.
They may not be able to really say what it is, but they know that there's something about the way that you sing that gives them more information. 100%. I mean, you've got no choice but to make yourself as knowledgeable as you can. And not just for your part.
Right.
Your colleagues' parts too. You got to know who they are.
Absolutely.
You got to know who you're interacting with. If I'm singing Carmen, I got to know who Don Jose is. Who is that guy? Why is he here? How did he end up here? This guy who was studying to be a priest. A priest? What? Because he killed somebody. What? He killed somebody? That's gigantic information.
Right, absolutely.
Why? How did he end up there? He ended up there by default. He sort of failed at everything else. you know?
Right.
And so you've got to know who you're facing. And the more information that you know about them, also, the richer it's going to make that relationship.
Right.
So Dominic, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Lisa Gwynn, soprano Lisa Gwynn, Lisa Gwynn Daltiris. She asked, can you discuss your thoughts on teaching students to be more aware of pitch and intonation while singing?
The first thing that I would say, what was the last name? Daltiris? Is she related?
Lisa Daltiris, yes, it's Lisa Daltiris.
Oh, it's Lisa.
Yes, Lisa, yes.
Lisa! Lisa, call me. Get my number from Angela. Call me. I totally need to talk to you today. I'm going to tell you something. I swear to God. Last night, I said, I've got to get in touch with Lisa Daltiris. I've got to, because you'll see why. There's something I need to ask you that only you can answer. It's only you who can answer.
I will make sure I pass that on to her.
You see how good God is? You see
yes.
That's amazing. Last night, I was saying her name, and I said, I got to get in touch with Lisa.
I will pass her your number.
Crazy. That's crazy. Give her my number.
I will.
The first thing that I would say, and Lisa, what are you talking about? You're a beautiful singer. You're a gorgeous singer. I was looking at our Trovatore last night. We did a Trovatore together with Opera Carolina, which is why I want to speak to her.
Right.
The first thing that I would say is to practice slowly. I know it's a pain in the whatever, but I would say go slowly. I mean, it depends on whatever your process is in learning the music. For me, learning music has always been a big thing. Just because I'm not the strongest musician that I would love to be. But because sometimes for me, that process can be painstaking, I remember everything. I've got a fantastic memory to my husband's great disappointment. Got a great memory. I can remember in great detail, but because for me, it's so painstaking to actually sit down at the piano, chain myself there and go note by note. That work is important because once it gets in, it gets in. And we all know that when you trying to unlearn something, oh my gosh,
right.
What a process that is. But in terms of pitch and intonation, if there's a student who is, let's say, challenged by that, I would have them work with a pianist where the pianist, like, let's just say, plays the notes and you just listen. I would refrain from maybe listening to other people doing it. I would wait until you got the piece a little bit learned more before you do that, because you can learn everything and you can learn their mistakes too. But what I would say is, just if you can, play the notes yourself. Sometimes if you have to do that, record yourself playing the notes with your phone. Right. Just record yourself, even without a pianist, playing da dee da da. You're just playing those notes, and then listen to it. And then when you get together with your pianist, let's say before the pianist plays the notes, sing it in your mind. While the piano's playing, you think, Quando. Just have them play the accompaniment and sing it quietly in your mind. See if you can hear it. Then when you come back around, see if you can sing the notes. I would definitely encourage layering it.
Yes.
Layering it first. But you have to, I've had great instruction, and I'm sure you have too, Angela, and I know Lisa has too. I've had great instruction. I've had wonderful teachers. However, my greatest revelations have been when I've been alone. Just me and the piano. And so I would encourage that time. And right now for the students there at Fisk, they're in an incredible position. I mean, I know that everything's upside down right now, but the time that they have devoted to develop their voice, you will never have this kind of time ever again.
Right.
And I just don't even know how much to say that, because, you know, when you're there, sometimes you can't fully appreciate it. But you are never gonna have that amount of time that you are dedicating solely to the development of your instrument. You cannot take that for granted. Absolutely. You must take advantage of everything. And there isn't a teacher around, I don't care. There isn't a teacher around who doesn't want to help somebody who's serious, who's serious, who's dedicated, who's devoted, who's enthusiastic, who's on fire with singing, about opera, about whatever it is, even if it isn't opera, whatever it happens to be, whatever turns you on. There isn't a teacher around that will not support that. Everybody will support that. You know, if somebody says, can I have an extra lesson? May I have an extra coaching? Do you have time to do a Zoom, to talk, to, you know, to speak through the text, to just, you know, let's work on the diction, whatever it is. When a teacher sees someone, a young person who is all the way in on that, you'll do anything for them. So for the people at Fisk, no matter what it is you're studying, that time goes fast. It just does. You saw my little daughter, right? You remember last time you saw her, she was like that. And now she's big and telling me and bossing me around and telling me what to do, and I don't know nothing and all that stuff, right?
Right.
It happens so fast.
Yes.
And sometimes I think for young people, the time maybe feels slow. You know, right now during COVID, we've had these 7-8 months of, you know, sometimes it's felt slow, and in other ways it's fast. It's like, what? It's like we're mid-October already? How'd that happen, you know? Already. So for all of the young people, no matter what your discipline is, this time that you have right now is so precious. I can't even tell you how precious it is. This is a magical, incredible time to invest in yourself. And you will see the returns from this if you give yourself entirely to what it is that you want to do, however you want to spend your time here on the earth, however you want to do that. This moment is you investing into yourself. It's investing into your craft. It's investing into the skill. So don't be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to, like, you know, stay up late and to go the extra mile, because the extra mile is never crowded. It's just never crowded on the extra mile, you know?
Right.
Yeah, everybody can start out together.
Right.
We can all start out together. But part of it is just staying in the game.
Yeah.
It's just part of it is just staying in the game. You know, I did a marathon once in Italy. I won't do it again, but I did it once. I was the last person to make it. But I just kept saying, doesn't matter when I get there, that I get there, you know, and people were encouraging me. So there was nobody on that road but me in the end, right? Leontine said, there's nobody there but you and Jesus, right? That last mile is not going to be crowded. So it's going to be about the effort that you give, the extra, the kids say now, like, you're so extra. Well, that's what you want to be.
Right.
It's the extra people that are going to make the difference. It's going to take the extra work to distinguish yourself in a field that's crowded and competitive and narrow and small and all these things.
Yeah. One more question. We have a question from Patrick D. McCoy.
Oh, he's so sweet. Everybody knows Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
How would you address the professional needs of the voice student whose institution may not offer courses in music administration or music business that may assist them in their career beyond performing?
Well, it's a great question. And I understand that sometimes young people may not know what they want to do. They may not know. I mean, I think that Angela you know, me and you and Lisa and probably Patrick too, were very fortunate in that we knew early on that this is what I want to do.
Right.
This is what I want to do. That's a gift. But there are some people who go off to college and they have no idea, you know.
Right.
My son is like that now. He's really smart, but he can't figure out like what he wants to do. And that's fine. That will arrive. But what I'm saying is you might not know until you get at an institution. And then you might find out, oh, well, I'm really interested in the business aspect of it. Because singing is one thing. That's just one thing.
Yeah.
Making a career that's something else. The business of it is something else. And you can't find that out until you actually get into it.
Right. That's
you
true.
know, there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, I had this one student. She is beautiful, but she was not progressing the way that I thought she should. And I was saying, gosh, we're just really not getting anywhere. And I was getting very frustrated, and I think she was frustrated too. And then one day she said to me, she said, I want to show you something that I've written. And I was like, oh, okay. She wrote this song. I'm not even kidding you, that like almost fell out of my seat. And as it turns out, her particular passion was not in learning to become an opera singer. Her passion turned out to be another genre entirely, music making, creating, but she had to be in that environment to discover that that wasn't really where she belonged. The environment was great, but the particular concentration and study was in the end not where her great strengths were. I was trying to make her into something that she wasn't supposed to be.
Right, right.
She wasn't cut out to be that. She was cut out to be what she was cut out to be. And that is fabulous. So what I'm saying, to answer the question of Patrick, if you decide that you want to go into music administration or business or something like, sometimes you might not discover that until you're actually in the conservatory. And yes, then you may discover that the conservatory doesn't address that. And I think that now, during COVID, we all have understood that we have all got to become more more savvy with technology.
Yes.
That Zoom is not going anywhere. It's going to be in our lives, that we're going to have to start folding in, you know, filming and audio, visual, and all of this stuff is going to be a part of our lives now. We are changing the industry. It is changing. And we're, you know, for a long time now, when I was at Peabody, and I'm also at Juilliard too. That I'm newly at Juilliard.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Sometimes I sit on that piano bench, Angela, and I just think, oh God, what are we doing? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I really preparing these kids for what they're going to face?
Yeah.
I know the job is to teach voice. And I feel like my job goes beyond that. I feel like it's about teaching life.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw that early on, that it was beyond voice lessons. It was really addressing that total individual, that person that was in front of you. And just like this one student I talked about, discovering who they are. And as you know, if you teach or you coach or anything like that, that each person that comes through the door is so different. And while we are pretty much anatomically the same on the inside, people's experiences are totally different. One thing that I had, the greatest shock of my life, when I was studying at the conservatory, and we were taught all these textbook examples of how you're supposed to sing. And then I got out there and I started singing, and I saw this person's got their tongue rolled up, curled up in the back. This person's singing with their shoulders up, like everybody does it a different way. And you have to respect that there are more than one ways to do it. There are certain things that are basic, but people's bodies are different and people respond differently. And what works for one person, at all. And even though it seems so clear to you, like all you have to do is feel the expansion in your rib cage, and they just don't.
Right.
They don't feel it like that.
Right.
They feel it in their lower back or something like that. And you have to learn. Part of teaching is being malleable and being, you know, flexible and letting the student teach you and show you what they need.
Exactly.
And you've got to develop that sense to see what this particular person needs. And in that way, you know, it's a calling that's far beyond the actual voice lessons. And I say to students all the time, it doesn't matter where you start out, you know, if this is helping, because I think that for that one student that I, you know, discussed, she started out on that path, but that path was necessary to steer her in another direction. I tell students all the time, listen to all kinds of music, and see what you respond to, see what your heart wants, see what your intellect wants, right? See what makes sense to you. You know, we shouldn't just sing, just because somebody has a beautiful voice, doesn't mean we have to try to force them to sing classical music. They might be better suited for something else.
That's not the only way to be creative either.
Not at all. Not at all. And so you might get to an institution and decide, I'm far more interested. And not only that, but all of my managers have been singers. Every single solitary one of them were singers. They started out in the conservatory, and whichever led them to the path to say, I wanted to go into business, then it did. But they started out, we all started out in the same place, and then people find their own, where they should land, what's right for them. And there's no shame in anything.
No.
You know, it's all good. All of it is good. And we need them all. You know, I was sitting in on a Zoom yesterday with Opera America. And I just was feeling so incredibly grateful for all these people who were not singers, but they just love the art form. And they care so much about what happens. And they care about the continuation of it. And they care about how this art form grows. And they care about getting a new generation into the theater. And I was just thinking, these people, I mean, we couldn't do what we do without these people.
True. That's
so
true.
Everybody's needed. This is a like all hands on deck situation. Where, you know, you can start out as a singer and then you decide that you maybe want to run an opera company. There are people who are doing it. Cecilia Bartoli now is running the opera company in Monte Carlo.
Right.
You know, I have lots of friends who I sang with who are running young artist programs. Pat Rissette's running the Opera Theater St. Louis. Ricky Leaks is running the Michigan Young Opera Theater, you know, and so that can translate into many different branches of the industry. It's all, we need everybody.
True.
And we need people who understand what it's like to be a singer or what the singer experience is. It's made all the difference to me that my managers have been singers.
Yes, they understand.
They know what I'm talking about.
Right.
One
more, I think we have one more question here. Antonio Twain Williams asks, what are some tips to learn how to deal with past hurt from voice professors who didn't know how to really teach your voice type?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But what's important is this. Don't continue to re-injure yourself. Whatever happened, happened. The first thing I say in times of difficulty, the first thing I say is thank you. Like, while this hurts and I don't understand what this is about, I know that this experience is not happening to me, it is happening for me. And I'm gonna emerge from this thing better. But if you keep blaming the person, then you continue their work. You know, my mother said to me a long time ago when I was a little girl, she said, particularly where African Americans are concerned, that the shackles have been taken off the ankles and are wrapped around the mind, right? So don't allow yourself to continuously be re-injured by something that happened. Now it's on you. Now you've got something to do. First of all, I'm sorry about that. I am sorry. It happens to lots of different people. It happens that you get somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, who doesn't know how to say things right, who try to break your spirit. Right. But there isn't anybody that's been successful at anything that didn't have somebody tell them something. Everybody had somebody tell them, well, I don't know about that. Maybe you shouldn't do that, or you're not really suited. I certainly did.
Me too. Prestigious people. Prestigious people.
Prestigious people. People in these incredible positions that, you know, I had a teacher at Oberlin, and I'm sorry, and it's true, who told me, like, what are you doing this for? Why aren't you singing gospel music? And, you know, or like, you know, your voice, you're not really suited for that, or you don't have the intellect for it. I heard all of that stuff. Everybody's had somebody try to take them down.
Yes, absolutely.
Some people recover from it and some people don't. And I understand that too. I understand that we're not all made the same way. Somebody gets hurt and some people stay down longer. But at a certain point, you got to pick yourself back up, baby. And you have to say thank you to that person and use whatever they said to fuel your passion to just go forward.
Right.
To just go forward. That know that that person was a gift. They could be a gift. It could be. Not all angels show up, you know, with the white wings and all of that stuff.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, you pass God as a homeless person on the street, right? Sitting there looking like the person you don't want to get next to. So the gifts can come in all kinds of different ways. What's important for us to know that at a certain point, I know that childhood is so important, right? Childhood is everything. It's so short and it sets up adulthood, right? And then we have to like try to live out and fix all the stuff that screwed us up when we were kids, right?
Right.
But at a certain point, we have to become charge of our own lives and our own destinies. Your life does not belong to that person who tried to destroy you. It's your life. You've got one time in this body, in this life, as the human being that you are. Whatever they did, whatever, bless them, and just keep on going.
Right.
And you decide what you want to do for your life. That's your choice now.
Right.
Nobody has the right to define who you become and who you are. That is up to you. If you want to do something, do it. And particularly in classical music, I'm going to say this to all the Fisk University people and all the voice students who may be out there listening. I think a lot of people think that when you get management or when something happens, then it's going to happen. No, sorry, I don't have good news where that's concerned.
Yeah.
You still have to blow your own horn. You have to drive the car and be in the driver's seat. And you have to say, no, that's not really right for me, or yes, I will do that. And that's hard to say in the beginning because you just need the work. You need to be able to do the work, right? And so in the beginning, we all say yes. And, but they're not looking out for you.
Nope.
They're not. Classical music is the only industry in which the agent and the manager are one and the same. That's an inherent conflict of interest. It doesn't exist in any other performing arts medium. It just doesn't.
Right.
Because the bottom line is that those managers work for the agency. Their allegiance is to the agency. They can sell me or they can sell Angela. It's the same to them who they sell. They don't care if you get run down singing Carmen all over the world. If you get beat up and run down, your voice gets beat up and you get beat up and you're ragged and raggedy at the end, they don't care about you. You're gonna have to care. Along with if you've got a group, family, people, or voice teachers or coaches who are really invested and really care about you. But the bottom line is that you are gonna have to care about you. Don't look for that to come from somebody else. Just don't. If you want to sing, sing.
Right.
There is nothing stopping you from singing, and certainly not now. You can get yourself, put yourself on Facebook. You can give a recital every night.
The playing field is leveled now.
It's level. It's wide open.
Yep.
If you want to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing stopping you from doing it. Right. Nothing. The only thing is here. And people are going to always say something. People are going to always say something. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody's got an opinion of you. Whatever.
Right, right.
Just keep going and live your best life, whatever that means to you. Make your life beautiful. Make it what you want it to be, you know? Mm-hmm. Later for those people or that person or whatever. Go for your dream. Go for the life you want and go and get the life that you want. End of the story.
There it is. There it is. And the sermon has ended.
Okay, you can close your Bibles. That's right.
The doors of the church are open. Okay. If we could bring Professor Brown up, if she wants to say a few words. Professor Brown.
You know that's true, Angela.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. Professor Brown.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, how are you doing?
Well, you all are doing beautiful work there with these magnificent voices.
Oh, thank you. It's my honor to work with him. By the way, I was in the Lyric Opera of Chicago full-time chorus on both of your Carmens.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. Isn't that something? That was just so wonderful. I love that. My daughter was so little when we were there on that one.
I remember because we were playing with her backstage while you were on stage.
That's right. My mom was with me. My mother traveled with me everywhere. Yeah. And I had my two towers, my mom and my daughter, you know.
Oh, wow.
I loved that.
Yeah. Well, we all are so honored that you worked with my students on today. It was such a wonderful blessing. A lot of the things you said, I'm writing down notes myself. Many things that I share with them were reiterated, and other things that I didn't consider, I will now consider as well, as far as tone, as far as the placement, particularly with Anna's Coloratura and everything else. There was so much I've learned, and I know everyone who watched learned it as well. We here at Fisk University, which is also my alma mater, thank you so much.
Oh, well, the gift was mine, and you know that every time, you know, you work with young people, you teach yourself at the same time. So it's a blessing. I love young people. I love wonderful voices. I love students who are serious about this profession, about music making, and so it's a real honor for me too. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Fisk University students. Ms. Grace, do you have any parting words that you would like to say to students, any students who are watching, those who are watching on Facebook? You've said a whole bunch, but if you have any parting words that you'd like to say.
Well, I know that this time for everybody, particularly for singers, has been an incredible challenge, right? Because we are considered to be the super spreaders. I think we're the super spreaders of love, but we are considered to be that too. And, you know, the world is, I think people are finding a way. We're finding a way to be creative. So the young people, you are called, your time is now. We need your imagination. We need your creativity. And all of this stuff is going to reshape the way this entire industry works. So really get out there. Know that there are no rules. Get out there and put your ideas down, you know, and know that we're going to get past this. We are going to get past this. We will be together again someday, live, being able to touch each other and all of those wonderful things that we miss and being in each other's present. But know that this time, this can be a time of incredible growth. it can be a time of incredible opportunity if we take it and make it be that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So this concludes our latest CAAPA virtual masterclass with Fisk University. I hope everyone had a great time and took away some valuable, valuable information from Ms. Graves. CAAPA would like to thank the Fisk Music Department Chair, Dr. Holle Hamby, Assistant Professor of Music, Ms. Gwendolyn Brown, Ms. Rainbow, Ms. Towns, and last but not least, Ms. Denyce Graves.
Ooh.
Please join us this coming Wednesday, October 21st at 5 p.m., where we will be joined by baritone Mr. Robert Sims, who will be facilitating a masterclass with students from Tennessee State University. You do not want to miss this. If you are interested in having the CAAPA Masterclass series partner with your institution, please stay and watch our exit video, which will have our contact information. Thank you everyone for joining us and have a wonderful afternoon.